Whoa, now that's a knife. Let's talk about the pros and cons of Crocodile Dundee's Bowie. So in terms of pros and cons of this Crocodile Dundee knife, really we're talking about the pros and cons of a large Bowie knife, which is exactly what this is. How large? 18 inches. The first pro is this clip point. You can get tremendous penetration because it is so delicate and small. Moving down the blade, you'll see that there's a very aggressive belly here, and that enables me to get a lot of slashing power as well. This knife is so big, it has what's called a fuller. Some people call it a blood groove. It is not a blood groove. It is not for blood. Its only purpose is to take off a little bit of metal so it's slightly lighter. And the reason why you can take off a little bit of metal is because look how much metal there is. Look at that thick spine. If someone's coming at me with a larger, sharper weapon, I could actually block it with the spine, pass it, and then continue my attack. Again, because of the thick spine. You'll note that there's also a finger guard here and what looks to be a little bit of a choil so I can grip up a little bit higher on it. You also have this thing which is called a false edge that you could sharpen if you wanted to, and this allows you to get a back cut. And the biggest pro is if you find yourself, like Crocodile Dundee did, on the opposite side of a mugger and you whip out this knife, that mugger is gonna run. However, that doesn't mean that this knife is perfect. There are cons as well. Most Bowie knives are designed with a sheath like this, where there is no additional leg attachment. Because there's no leg strap, as I pull my weapon out, you see how it rises up, and that prevents me from drawing it quickly. So I almost have to do it two-handed here. You'll note that if I do it two-handed, my arm is now crossing my center line, is crossing my body. That enables my opponent to then attack my arm as I'm pulling out my own weapon. That's not something I want. Another issue is it's very traditional in how it sits. Because it sits so high up, as I lift up my 18-inch knife, look how far my elbow has to come up before I can present my weapon to my opponent. You'll note that it's easier for me to grab it in an ice pick grip because my elbow doesn't flare out as much. However, once I present my weapon to my opponent, I'm much shorter than I would be if I was in a traditional saber grip. Now the handle has both pros and cons to it, right? The handle, because it's round, it enables me to hold it in a variety of grips. I can hold it in a hammer grip, I can hold it in a saber grip, I can hold it in an inside ice pick grip. However, because it's smooth, I don't have as much grip to it. What I would prefer to see, honestly, is plastic because it's lighter and more durable. Now the clip point also is not without its flaws. Because it is so small and delicate, out of everything here, and this is a very strong knife, the thing that is most likely to break on you or bend on you is that clip point. Having said all of that, this is still a beautiful iteration of a Bowie knife.